on a new Minivan Musician.
As long as I can make a sound, my artistry will be around. Long after I'm in the ground, if one person feels what I spit, I have purpose. It was worth it.
This is Minivan Musician number 40.
Yeah.
40.
Getting close to a year on this thing. We got limited time because, like, we're parents and shit.
It's morning and we're cold. And it's raining.
Waited till the last minute to do it.
Yeah. So, anyway, what are we talking about?
The 1996 thing.
Yeah, 1996. The album, obviously, he's dropping. And we're going back looking through albums that actually came out that year. Like big ones, and he wanted me to go through like a list and kind of pick one that meant something to me, and we were going to touch on how it was maybe important to him and hip-hop and all kinds of other shit from then till now. So I picked Atliens, Outkast, because they're my favorite, and I love that album in so many ways for so many reasons. So
You said that shit weird.
What? Atliens?
Aliens?
I said Atliens.
I was like, I'm asking myself.
It's
like,
early.
I used to call this shit Atliens.
Atliens. My bad. It's early. Forgive me. I love that album though, and I love Outkast is my favorite group as far as hip hop groups go. Yeah, Wu-Tang is second. So, but anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna do, like, leading up to the release of that album, it's like I was kind of inspired to show that the albums that were released that year that were like huge, monumental in hip hop. There's other reasons why, obviously, the album's called that, but I thought it was worth exploring, and maybe some people reminisce, and then some younger people go back and be like, damn. Because when you really look at the significant projects dropped that year, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I was.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down a list or anything, but as far as Atliens, I'm glad she picked that one. We talked about it yesterday. We don't do much preparation on this, but we talked about it. That album, basically, Outkast went from being this dope group that had this certain swagger and energy and all that stuff, kind of almost like party music, but not in an overly commercial way. And then they went into this, where it was like this comic book in there, and they're going against the forces that aren't doing positive music. And it's pretty upbeat, it's pretty positive. Even when they're telling a negative story, it's positive. And what I'm getting at is they stepped their level up from like really good upcoming hip hop group to like this great entity.
Yeah.
That was maybe beyond just hip hop. And the project was important to me because a lot of my rhyme schemes and stuff at that time were like heavily influenced by them. Like I was freestyling and writing my first songs and doing little like neighborhood battles, and it was like you could definitely hear that flow in there. I think the flow on this album influenced a lot of people. The project showed you that you have your East Coast sound, you have your West Coast sound. You could say they had down south sound, but there were groups that existed down south before, and theirs was completely different. It was like Organized Noise and Outkast themselves produced this project, and it had a sound that everybody could like. Yeah. Whether you lean toward West, you lean towards East. So I feel like this album is really important because of the sonic attributes of it. Yeah. It showed you that, here's how you make a project that everyone will love, and you don't have to fall back on, well, it needs to sound a little more like this. And
and they didn't try to make a song for everybody either. Like
right.
It was
and it ended up there was a song for everybody. Yeah. But they didn't make a song. So I feel like this was an important project for me because it influenced my flow, and it was kind of like one of my favorite projects at the time. And for hip hop, it showed you that, your music could be a little more positive, but not in a conscious rap sort of way. I'm talking about conscious positive to everyone. You know, it could be a little more upbeat without being corny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be a little more lyrical and not be East Coast.
They still had sexual stuff in it. It was
Yeah, it's
still,
just written
you
in a
know,
more
like
mature way.
yeah. I mean, it was just there was a little bit of something for everybody that likes hip hop. I mean, and that's a fucking hip hop album right there. That is the definition of a good hip hop album.
It's almost like some cats from an area that had never existed in hip hop before decided to make the best of hip hop sounds, flows, and lyrics and put it together, and that was the project. And I know some people like other albums that there's more, but I mean, you had the first one and you had this one that was kind of like the rocket that propelled them like to another level.
Oh yes, when Equipment I dropped after Atliens, I mean, you could just, it was like set in stone. Outkast is Outkast, and they're the shit, and like everyone knew it, and it was just a door opened after that.
Definitely, and it let people know too that there was more credible lyrical content than just rappers who came from the East Coast and then the underground cats, you know, in California, like in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? There were some cats doing it there. Of course, there's the East Coast. There hadn't really been, quote unquote, lyrical hip hop coming out of the South. I consider Scarface to be lyrical, but his is more lyrical in the Tupac way, where it's from the heart. He had some complex like metaphors and rhyme schemes and shit like that in this Outkast project. So yeah, this is one of the most important ones. When you picked it, I was like, that one doesn't have as much of a story for me, but it actually does. When I really thought back, this one was kind of the one I probably listened to the most. And, you know, I even used a couple of the beats, like on my first tapes and shit like that in the street, like my first little so-called releases. So yeah, it's huge. I think it influenced like every rapper that was my age or even older at that time.
And every hip hop fan. I mean, just loves that shit. It's great. I've never heard someone be like, yeah, I don't like that. Like, what?
Yeah, I've never heard nobody say like, I don't fuck with ATL.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a big one in the sense that it, to me, brought back, I shouldn't say brought back, there'd been a lot of upbeat hip hop, but it had been kind of like your MC Hammers and Vanilla Ices and, you know, like these cats that were kind of like, I don't even know what to call them. It's not like an MC, it's more like an entertainer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was groups. I know people are going to correct me, and feel free to do that in the comments and stuff like that. But I just mean on a huge, huge stage.
Yeah.
They released this sound and this vibe, and it was definitely influential on me. It's one of many great releases in 1996 that like shaped music going forward for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of my favorite albums ever released. So I think that's all there is to say on it. We kind of blazing through things right now. We're gonna do the flow face off. That's gotten more interesting. We're down to like just over 20 cats in it. And well, I'm not gonna read off who we got in it. I'm just gonna fucking do it.
All right, go.
All right. Okay, we got. Listen to the lyric as the negative is shrinking. It's shrinking out your life when you decide to change your thinking. One of the first things we got to switch around, of course, is Jesus Christ and him dying on the cross. You're looking at the cross surrounded in its mystery, with Jesus on the cross and in total misery. Now separate Jesus from the cross so you can see the truth about the cross and the cross's history. The cross was created by the Roman government. Its only purpose and use is capital punishment. But Jesus Christ was all about the revolution, while the cross was used as Jesus Christ's execution.
4.5.
Nice. Okay.
It's a good track. The cross stuff is like overkill. Always has been.
That's kind of what the joint's about.
I know, but it's just like a lot of saying the cross.
Okay. I'm not bigger than the drama. Don't get me mixed up. I'll battle Jigga tomorrow. I got a reputation for bashing the facing, and even when I make my millions, I'll be down for confrontation. I rap for the kids in buildings with little education, urban children, urban new days, occupation. Suburban kids get with it too, but do your history, know what you're listening to. Don't be a drone or I'm dissing you. Rap clones are pissing you. Biters don't make me sick, you homes. You weak like arthritis. Don't sleep on me like itis. We're street fighters and keep the heat right beside us. In case you too pussy for a fair one like Commodus.
4.
Okay. So you just had KRS-One defeat Necro.
Yeah.
That was KRS-One's The Truth.
Which is a great song.
So you knew the song.
I've always thought that when, he says the cross so many times, I'm like, man, the cross. I was like, I get it, but yeah, but it is a great song.
Take Hip Hop Back with Immortal Technique and Benny Pass.
Okay, see, I knew that song too, but I wasn't sure who it was by at first.
I had the flow a little off.
I was like, wait a second, Necro.
I had the flow a little off. Hopefully that didn't influence like the fucking grading of it.
No.
I mean, it wasn't gonna beat a 4.5 either way. So
no.
Here we go. Talk real lightly, scared to bite me, scared to death to shoot me, scared to fight me. In the street, brothers is playing the wrong game, up in a real brother face, singing the wrong thing. At the end of the day, what that really mean? Come on, let this bitch ass brother flee. He ain't mean no harm, he ain't mean nothing by it. It ain't mean no wrong. He's a grown ass man. Let him know dick ain't for riding, dick is for finding, pussy than hiding. Fucked that up a little bit, but
3.5.
3.5. Okay. The cops want to catch the brother that won't fetch, but I'll blast you. Never call your master. Who is that kicking up shit much faster? Rolling on a scooter. You know I might do you. See a black clock and my buckshots run right through you. I never knew you, cause I'm not a trick. You can suck the diggity dick. I'm not the piggity pig. I get away with quickity quick on the plane to South Central. Never get played by the monkey wrench, ho. Steady mobbing. I'm just like Robin Hood. Up to no good. So many bitches on my wood.
4.
Okay, so you had Ice Cube say hi to the bad guy. Defeating DMX's Put 'Em Up.
Yeah.
It was hard to find a DMX song that like
you
wouldn't know. Ice Cube wasn't easy either.
Nah,
but the DMX ones, I'm just going down and listening like, damn it. And then even in the ones that you don't know, talking about barking and...
Well, yeah, you can always pick out DMX.
Yeah, so it's like, the dog is blah, 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 like every fucking verse I could find.
Cat
so
the rat, the hat, the
that
dog.
one had something in it, and I tried to get away from it.
I
but
sound like DMX this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the time. It was Newports for too many years. Okay. To G or not to G is the question. And like Smith told Wesson, I'm shady with the 380 old school diploma. I'll leave that ass in a coma. So, if you got a herringbone, welcome to the Terradome. 211. Sorry, Reverend. Oh my God, getting robbed. Reach for the smog. Atomic dog. Hard to swallow. Janky as Rollo. Count to 10 and don't try to follow. Cause just like Waco, I could take 4 ATF 2-day death.
5.
5. Damn. What's funny is that's one of the most... That was one of the verses that I walked around rapping all the time when I was a kid. Like that was all to G or not to G is the question. Like that album too, that whole album. But anyway, I'm not sure if you know what it is, but I mean I know you'll know when I say it if you don't know it right now. And okay, here we go. That was a 5, huh? On the block, you just yap a whole lot about the clothes that you got, yo, or the gold that you got. Everybody sees all the friends in the Benz, yo, it's fat, but they ain't getting money like that. Word to my brother Kenny, jealous one envy, the rich a few while the poor many. But you got gold cups and cars and stuff, you eating well, but still in the ghetto you dwell. You know it's hot, so you make it known about your Glock to any perpetrator trying to blow up your spot. You grab the microphone and talk a good ramble. You the hardcore outlaw, criminal vandal.
4.5.
4.5. Okay. So yeah, Ice Cube's really though defeated I Got Next by KRS.
Okay.
I Got Next, Never Had a Gun. Can I tell them that I really
never
had a gun?
That's a good
and
song.
Chuck D sample. So yeah, we kind of blazed through it this week. I urge y'all to peep the Weed Wars video.
Mm-hmm.
That's still doing good. Put that joint in the description. And I hope y'all go back, bump at least a track or two from the Atliens.
Yes.
Or as you called it,
I called it the AT-Aliens this morning.
AT-Aliens. Really influential album from 1996. Hopefully, I'm going to do one of these every week. I'm not sure if it'll be a part of the Minivan Musician Monday or if it'll be separate. But it's going to be about these. Just keep your eyes open if you're watching the channel. it's gonna be about these albums that dropped that year.
That's good to go down memory lane with that, and you have something you're listening to all the time. You get bored of it, and you're like, oh man, I forgot all about that album. I think I'm gonna put that on today.
And it seems new. When
that's great.
And I mean, and it aged well. Stuff like that aged well.
Yeah,
sounds like it could drop today.
It did.
Like when I first started thinking about doing this, and I first started thinking about doing the 1996 title in the first place, I thought this was all just gonna be, here's what influenced me to rap the way I do, and have the standards for hip hop that I do, and all of that shit. Like I thought this was just about me. Like, yo, I'm old now. I'm still doing hip hop. I'm reminiscing. I'm going back and kind of telling my story and all that shit, or telling the story of the streets and whatnot. But as I started looking at the albums that were dropped that year and what influenced me, I was like, wow, there's so many that influenced hip hop in general. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna go down the list right now, but I mean, both All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli dropped that year. You had this Outkast joint. You had Reasonable Doubt.
Yep.
You had Nas' second album, It Was Written, which is really important for reasons we'll talk about in another episode, I'm sure. I mean, Dayton Family's FBI even dropped in 96.
Yeah, and there's some really big,
it's crazy.
really good
There's
ones.
Even bigger ones, I think, too. But
yeah.
I'm not gonna, we'll do it individually. But other than that, I guess we're gonna roll out.
Anybody that is still like on the Max movement train, which you need to be, please, for Max Julian, they're still doing some protests and whatnot. So if you want to be a part of those things and you want to help out and stuff like that, look for the petition still, sign that to get the shack closed.
Or just show up over
and
there.
Show up, yeah. As long as you stay
like
off of the exact property, like don't cross the street, you're fine. The cops are on our side with that, actually.
There, but just go right across the street, basically.
And just keep throwing some prayers up there for Soup too, because he's recovering from that horrible car accident. He's doing better, but he's still got a ways to go. So we're praying for you, bro.
We're not against you, like smacking the shit out of Bob or whatever.
No, just don't
we're
get caught up.
We're not endorsing it.
No, we don't.
We have nothing to do with influencing you to do it.
Just don't get caught up. But yeah.
I mean, drop your PayPal in the comments.
No, stop. But anyway, I just wanted to update you on that. And yeah, we're praying for you still, Soup. So keep getting better.
People ain't forgotten about Max. Is what we
no,
say.
no, not at all. So
just because other things
sharing.
happen doesn't mean something's not still important. You know what I mean?
But with that, I guess we gotta get back. I gotta get back in the house.
And on that note, I say peace.
Peace.